Well, hi YouTube, and welcome to Brad's Boredom Busters. I am your host, Brad Claybaugh. And that squirt. This is the channel where we have fun with fabric. Alright Busters, so I'm glad you're here today. Hey, we got a lot of information to go over in this video. It's going to be a little different than usual. So, let's get into it. I wanted to say thank you, and I also wanted to talk to my subscribers, and then at the end I've got a special unboxing for you. Yes, I've wanted to say thank you to Stephanie at Belladonna Dyes. Thank you for helping me grow my channel. Thank you for the dye that you've sent me, and thank you Crystal as well for making that possible for all of us. I really appreciate the help that she's given me with my channel, and I appreciate all the new subscribers that have come over. Yes, I hope you enjoy the content so far. I've got a lot of plans for the future, and so I hope you stick around and enjoy all of it. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is, because of all the new subscribers, I'm very close to 800 subscribers, and I really appreciate that. I think that's really bitchin'. And so I was thinking, well, when I hit 1,000, and that's not too far, and if you can help by sharing my channel around, that might help grow my channel quicker as well. But I was thinking of a giveaway when I hit 1,000 subscribers. And so I wanted to pose a question to you, my subscribers. What would you prefer? I was thinking I could either give away a custom-made shirt for the winner, or I could also give away a custom-made tie-dye tapestry wall hanging. And so leave a comment down below, which would you prefer to have? Then the other question I have for you as well, because I have so many new subscribers, and I haven't really communicated much other than reacting to some of your comments, which I really appreciate. I love the comments. I was wondering if you'd be interested in me doing a Q&A video. Let me know that, and if you want to see a Q&A video, then leave me some questions in the comments down below as well. That would be awesome. And so then the third thing about this video is, if you saw the Halloween jack-o'-lantern video, I showed you an unboxing, sort of a combination air compressor and airbrush that I got from Harbor Freight. And I like the little air compressor, it's pretty good, but the airbrush in that kit is not that great. It's got a very fine needle. It's probably something like a 0.2 or 3 millimeter, so it's very small, which means it has a very fine tip that the spray has to come out of, and that means whatever you are spraying through this airbrush has to be pretty thin. And for the dyes, obviously I don't want the dyes being too thin, or then they're not going to have good color, good density on the fabric. And so I did some research on YouTube, and I went to Amazon to see what other airbrushes they had, and I found this one that seems promising. And the review that I saw on YouTube was pretty good as well. And what's interesting about this airbrush, it comes with 3 different size needles and 3 different size tips. So that means I have a better opportunity to be able to pass through different mediums of different consistencies, densities, and so it should handle dye as well as bleach, because I have ideas for doing some bleach painting in the future with the airbrush. And so I am going to do an unboxing of this airbrush, and then I'll do a slight demonstration of it. We'll go through the different needles and tips, and then I'll show you how they look, the different size needles, how fine a line we can get with each one of them. But I'll be using just the black dye that I used in the jack-o'-lantern video, and so that way we can get an idea how it sprays dye, because that's really the important thing right now. And then bleach. The bleach 50-50 water bleach mix should be a very similar consistency, I would think, as the dye. So I assume if it's going to handle the dye, it'll handle my bleach as well. And so you're probably wondering why so much talk about airbrushes all of a sudden. Well, just think of it this way. It's another trick arrow in Hawkeye's quiver of art supplies. Yes, a pop culture reference. Just think of it this way. It's another tool to help you create cool and creative art projects on t-shirts or on any other kind of fabric. So anyway, that's all I had to say for that. Let's get over to the work table and we'll do the unboxing. I'll show you this airbrush and then I'll set up and we'll do a quick demonstration. We'll see you at the work table. All right, Busters, so I know you're really smart because you're great subscribers and you're just really smart people. So obviously I've opened this box before because when I got it, I just couldn't wait to take a look at it. But let me show you what I did get. So this airbrush, it comes with a hose, and it's not a bad hose, but so it is a master airbrush. It's a model S622, and it looks pretty decent. Like I said, I went online to check out the master brand. Years ago when I was, like I say, building models professionally, I had a Pache airbrush, which they still make, and I was looking at those as well. The only reason I didn't buy another Pache is for the t-shirts and any other kind of fabric artwork I'm doing. I'm not trying to spray a perfectly glossy finish like on a car model, so I don't need a really high-end airbrush. And so I figured, because this has 3 different size needles and tips, that it was actually probably going to be more versatile for what I wanted to do. So I didn't need a really high-end airbrush. So let's go over what the kit comes with. So obviously we have the airbrush, and it already has a needle and cone in it. And it's a very nice heavy weight, so it's very substantial airbrush. It's made very well. It's a double action airbrush, and what that means is when the air is on, when you push down on the plunger, then the air starts coming out, but the paint won't come out until you pull back on it, and then that allows the paint to come out. And this particular model of airbrush is what they call a siphon. The one that you saw in the jack-o'-lantern video, that was a gravity feed. It had the cup up on top. This one can hold more material, paint or whatever, and then that goes underneath, and then the air pressure siphons it up into the airbrush. And then this here is set up for just a hose to be pushed on that. I am probably going to remove the quick disconnect fitting on the Harbor Freight airbrush and then attach it on here. It also comes with a wrench, so you can help take parts of like the head off and probably other parts of the body on the inside, because it has 2 different sizes there. And so that's real handy. And so like I said, there's a needle inside. This one comes with, like I said, 3 needles. So it comes with a 0.3 millimeter. It was a 0.5, which is in the airbrush, and then the 0.8 millimeter, and then their corresponding tips as well. And so that's pretty much the airbrush. Like I say, it seemed like it had decent reviews, and so let me get set up and I'll do a quick demonstration on this and we'll see how it works. All right, I'll be right back after I get everything set up for that. All right, Busters, so I'm all set for my demonstration. So I changed out the needle that it came with, and I put in the 0.3 millimeter needle and tip. And so, and actually, when you change out the tip, you also have to change out the cone to fit it. So there's 3 pieces in total that need to be changed over when you want to change the size of the needle for the airbrush. Anyway, I've got it somewhat adjusted. I'm running at 30 pounds of pressure, and I turned it up because of the smaller needle and consequently the smaller orifice, to try to help blow the black dye through it better. I may turn it down when we get into the larger sizes. So let's try it and see what we get. I have a feeling it's going to be kind of like the Harbor Freight airbrush, where just because it's so small, I have to really have it all the way open to get anything out. But let's give it a try. Yeah, so that was only partially open, and you can see how it's kind of sputtering. That's because it almost wants to dry up in the tip because there's such a small opening. So see what happens with it wide open. Yeah, for this one, if you were to use it with this small of a needle and had it wide open, actually you almost want to back off the pressure a little bit, because then it wouldn't kind of blow around so much. But anyway, that's kind of what I expected on the smaller needle and tip. So let me change it over to the 0.5 millimeter, and we'll see what that looks like. Okay, Busters, so now I've got the 0.5 millimeter needle and cone and tip on, and I'm at the same pressure, 30 pounds. Let's see how this goes. If it splatters too much, then I'll turn the pressure down and see if that doesn't give me a little more control. Yeah. We're up too high. It's better. You can see that there's a little more control, but let me turn the pressure down. All right, so now when the tank is full, it sits at 30, running at about 25. So let's see if that's any better. No, actually it seems worse. Let's try turning it back up. Okay, let's try that. It's still a little out of control. But it's definitely better this size tip than the smaller one. I have a little bit more control, but it still seems like it wants to dry up in the tip, but the higher pressure does help. Right now I've got it sitting at 40, running, it's at about 35. Definitely better. All right, so let's take a look at the largest size, which is our 0.8 millimeter. All right, Busters, so here we are. I've got it changed over to the 0.8 millimeter needle and cone and tip. So let's give it a try. I'm still up at that running 35-pound pressure, so let's see what it's like. So it's interesting, I get a little bit more control, but then it gets like the air I think is drying up the dye, you know, in the tip, and then it like pushes through that. Yeah, it's just trying to find that sweet spot. Let me try turning up the pressure, see what that does. All right, so it's sitting at 50, which means it'll run at 45. No, I think that's too much pressure. All right, I have it at 35. Let's see how that goes. Well, let's turn it down a little bit more. All right, I have that at 30. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, it's definitely drying up in the tip, and that's why I'm getting these bursts of dye. So that, I mean, it's still better. Almost the 0.5 millimeter might have been even better than this. You can do some small lines for a short time, but like I say, it just wants to dry up in the tip. Anyway, but it's certainly 100% better than that Harbor Freight airbrush. So I will play with it. I will make it work. Like I say, I'm happy with it. It's very substantial. I mean, it's got some nice weight in your hand. It's like I say, it's all chrome plated. It's all solid brass. Even the back here is, I think, milled aluminum. But let me go over a couple features. Like I say, the plunger, this is a double action. So like I say, you push it down for air and then pull it back for your paint. This knob in the back here is adjust how far back the trigger can go. So if you want to do just a specific size of line for a long period of time, you can adjust this in or out to set it to whatever you want. Typically I leave it out as far as I can, and I just trigger it by hand to control how much material comes out at one time. Anyway, yeah, nice airbrush. This Master, it cost at Amazon. I believe at the time I purchased it was $58, I think. And I got it in a couple days. And so if you're interested in a nice beginner airbrush that doesn't break the bank, this Master is a good one. And if you don't have an air compressor for it, I mean, Amazon has deals on those as well. If you're interested in trying some airbrushing on fabrics, on t-shirts, and even, like I said, in the future, I had planned on doing some bleach painting with the airbrush. I'm going to be practicing that before I do a demonstration. Yeah, it's a nice airbrush. And so that's about all I have to say for that. I just thought I'd show you what I got, something new to play with, and like I say, you'll see it in the future with some projects I have in mind. Okay, we can sign off. I'll meet you back at my desk and we'll do a sign off. All right, thanks for watching. Hey, if you really like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming projects. And hey, if you really want to help out my channel, go to my Buy Me a Coffee page and buy me a coffee. That really helps me out. Hey, all right, thanks for watching. Love you all, folks. Peace out, baby, and go bust out some art.